Yeah, he cheated his ass off to beat me. I mean, he poked me in the eye 7 times in the fight.
Yeah.
It should have been a no contest or a disqualification win for me come by round 2. It should have been, but it wasn't. And I'm not the guy that's ever going to not get off the stool. I couldn't see out of my left eye for about a week after the fight.
Wow.
I mean, it was just swollen shut. He tickled my brain more than once during that fight. And it was, he cheated, and the judges rewarded him for it.
All right, Sam. February 5th, man. You were supposed to face off with Ian Heinisch, but now you're facing his teammate, Phil Hawes. What was your reaction to the switch?
I didn't realize they were teammates. So that's kind of cool. You know what? I knew I had a lot of time for Ian Heinisch. I think they told me like 4 months ahead. So as soon as they said it was Ian, my wife and I kind of laughed. So, well, I'm not fighting Ian. Something's going to happen. I never fight the guy I'm supposed to. So yeah, then Phil Hawes, he stepped up, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm looking forward to it. There's a little more hype on Phil right now than there was Ian, so that's good as well. And I am really looking forward to stepping in that cage with him.
Phil, you know what I mean? He's a wrestler. We know that. But lately, you know what I mean, in his MMA career, he likes to stand. He likes to test his striking. He's developing his striking. What do you see in him and his style?
Dude hits hard. He's got a big cross. His wrestling he's on point. I mean, he was a D1 wrestler 10 years ago or 11 years ago, something like that. So he's got the wrestling. But I think I've got the 4th or 5th highest takedown defense rating in UFC history. So that's always fun. His wrestling versus my non-wrestling. See what happens there. It usually comes down to who hits harder and who hits faster. I mean, he's built. He does hit like a truck. He's got that ability to put you on your butt, and it's a high intensity fight.
With Phil and his wrestling, like you said, it's 10 years ago. Does that ever fade, do you think, with wrestlers that turn into MMA fighters?
Dan Henderson is my head coach, and he has been for a minute. And shoot, he has. How long has it been since he wrestled? It's been like 22 years or something like that. Dude still puts me on my butt. Now it's Greco over freestyle, so it's a little different. But it's like riding a bike. He did it his entire life until he started fighting. So I'm sure it will not have left him just yet.
Do you feel like that's the key for your counter wrestling? Is that you've been defending takedowns from Dan Henderson for so many years that anything that someone brings to you in that cage is like nothing new?
Yeah, between him and Jesse Taylor, they've been 2 of my training partners for the last 12 years or 11 years. And Jesse's stupid wrestling. I mean, he takes terrible shots and he gets every takedown. It is the dumbest thing. But he's just amazing at it. And Jesse's the best MMA wrestler I've ever gone with. Hendo included. It's different styles, but Hendo included. And I'm working with Jesse tomorrow, so I'm making sure to cover my bases. But you know what? Phil likes to bang. Wrestling's hard, and he's done it long enough to know how hard wrestling is. Punching people's way easier. So I suspect he's gonna try and punch me, and it's when that doesn't work is when he's gonna start wrestling.
During a camp, how much tape are you watching of Phil Hawes?
I've watched all of it. I run every day. I usually watch a fight or two while I'm running. Just to see. He's a very entertaining fighter too. So I mean, it's real easy for me to watch his fights. They've been really good.
Does it have a psychological effect? You know, it seems like some fighters, they don't watch any tape and then they let their coaches watch the tape and then they just listen to what their coaches do. For you, you watch it, you say you watch it often when you run. Does it do anything mentally for you, or is it just a reminder?
No, I'm a fight fan. I'm a fan of his. The shame I got to beat him. But it is what it is. I enjoy watching him fight. I've loved watching all of his fights. His pre-UFC, his pre-contender, his contender, his UFC fights. He's really an enjoyable fighter. I'm looking forward to winning some bonuses with him.
Like Hawes, you know, is he a type of fighter that you have faced many times in the past?
Oh, at this point, I fought just about everyone many times fast. I got over 70 fights. He's one of probably one of the more dangerous ones just because of the level of wrestling, but he's not scared to get hit. You get a lot of wrestlers that come in there, and as dominant of wrestling as they are, they get nervous about getting hit. And Phil hasn't ever shown that. He's willing to swing and get swung on.
Let's go back to your last fight against Wellington Turman. If I remember correctly, like you were very visibly upset after the fight. Am I right?
Yeah, he cheated his ass off to beat me. I mean, he poked me in the eye 7 times in the fight.
Yeah.
It should have been a no contest or a disqualification win for me come by round 2. It should have been, but it wasn't. And I'm not the guy that's ever going to not get off the stool. I couldn't see out of my left eye for about a week after the fight.
Wow.
I mean, it was just swollen shut. He tickled my brain more than once during that fight. And it was, he cheated, and the judges rewarded him for it. I was upset. I've rewatched it. I outstruck him every round. He cheated. He won the fight by cheating, and the judges rewarded it. And I've rewatched the fight. I mean, a dozen times. Is there something they saw? No, there's nothing. He had one decent strike. I think it's this side. Yeah. Yeah, he had a hell of an elbow at the end of the first, but that was kind of after getting beat up the rest of the first. I outstruck him every round. I stuffed all of his takedowns. And I didn't just outstrike him a little, I hit him a lot. Now, I could not take a step forward without him raking my eyes. And you watch the fight. People say, Sam, you have to come forward. Say, dude, I tried. I really did. I've spent a career backing up. In my last probably 3 fights, I've come forwards. And I tried to come forward on him, and every time I did, he stuck his finger in my eye. He's a dirty cheater, and he was rewarded for it. So I warn whoever fights him next, he's going to cheat.
Did you talk to the referee after the fight about that?
No, I would have screamed. I'm smiling, Sam, most of the time, but when I went into the decision knowing, so well, shoot, I felt like I beat him. They had 2 points coming to me, and then it was a split decision loss. The judges are useless in this sport. They don't know what they're doing. They're just making it up as they go. And then you talk to judges, and they're very proud about how good they are and how this and that. They're a bunch of shit judges. They don't know what's going on in the fight. And it's not – I can whine about my fights, and it's probably not a good idea. I just piss all the judges off more. But you watch it. I mean, honest God, when's the last time you've watched a fight go to decision and you were confident that the judges were going to get it right? I mean, can you? I can't. It goes to decision. It's like, well, it's 50-50. I don't know. I mean, my theory is the UFC goes to the Home Depot early in the morning of the fight. They pick up the 3 guys, who wants to come work tonight. Picks 3 guys. They give them official UFC coins at the beginning of every round, and they just flip them. Heads, blue wins, tails, red wins. I am pretty confident that's how the judging works in MMA.
Yeah, there's major problems. Last year,
it's every fight.
That last year has been just, I don't know, mind blowing. Some of the decisions that have came out, and people are scared with the scorecards. Even like on Twitter, right before it goes into the judges, official announcements, people are going crazy. Like, who's gonna mess it up? Who's the judge? Who's the judge that's sitting there judging this fight because they know something's gonna happen? It's pretty crazy. And you know what? The worst part is your paycheck is affected by that. I think that is the worst part.
My paycheck, my career. If you look at my last 6 fights, I think I've won 5 of them, but I didn't. And that's it. And now I do not let myself think about it that way. I do not let myself think, well, I could have been, should have been, would have been. No, I lost the fights. The rules are the rules are. The judges were going to be terrible for either me or the other guy. So I knew what it was. I need to go in there and I need to finish the fights, and I haven't been doing that. So at the end of the day, as much as I want to whine about those guys, it's on me. I should have, although this last one was hard. I tried. He kept stabbing my eyes. It hurt so much. But with the exception of this last one, it's on me. I need to change my style. I need to come up with a way to end up on top.
You mentioned Jesse Taylor. You're going to work with him tomorrow. Who else have you been working with during this camp?
Joe Figiao, he's a D2 national champ wrestler. Dan Henderson, of course. Phil Hawes, he kicks like a truck. He does. The first half of my camp I did out in Nashville MMA. Dorian's their head coach, and they're a Muay Thai, style. Their MMA program is very Muay Thai style. So they kicked the snot out of me for the first 5 weeks of my camp. And now I'm finishing up here at Team Quest and making sure my wrestling is up to snuff.
All right. And I saw that you did a session or two with Sean Strickland.
Yeah, he
He's
and I, we
getting,
spar all the time. We've been
yeah.
buddies and training partners for getting close to 10 years now. Yeah, so it's always fun rolling with him.
What is the
Fun's the wrong word, but it's always something rolling with him.
what has it been like watching him, gain success and just become the fighter he has become? He's very close to a title shot.
I'm so proud of him. I work hard, and I like to say there's nobody that works harder than me. But if there was, Sean Strickland's close to it. The dude has always put in the time. He got hit by a truck a few years back, so that took its toll a little bit. But he just went up a weight class and said, "Yeah, all right, I'll do this." And now he's just smashing people. Like it's nothing. He's got 3 wins in 4 months or something close to it. And he's not been injured yet. I'm excited to watch him get that title. I don't think there's anyone in the top 5 that can challenge him. And then the style bender's a stud. He challenges everyone. But I think Sean will get that title shot sooner than later.
Your last 6 fights didn't go your way. There's some circumstances with that. Is the victory more important for you than entertaining the fights? Because I know you want to entertain the fans. You know what I mean? That's the kind of the thing that you enjoy in that cage.
You know what? No, the entertainment is. I will go down, whether or not I go down as the greatest fighter that has ever lived. We'll see what happens. But I will go down as one of the fighters that everybody wants to see fight. My legacy, my history, my career is spent trying to make sure people enjoy this sport. I want to grow this sport. I want people to love this sport more after they watch me fight, and that's number one for me. I've got talents. I can fight anywhere. I can do a lot of things that way. But at the end of the day, I want people to want to watch me fight.
Now, the fans, they have been real critical of you keeping your job with the UFC. They're mad about someone keeping their job, still having a job, which is very odd to me. It's like, would you go to a doctor or would you go to a guy working at 7-Eleven? You know what I mean? Like, would you be mad if they're keeping their job and still earning an income for their family? How do you feel about people being obsessed about you still fighting for the UFC?
It's not people, it's the internet.
Mhm.
People are cowards. People wouldn't say a word to me. People go to the internet and they run their mouth that way. If they were to meet me in real life, they'd be respectful and they'd want a picture and an autograph and say, "Oh my God, your last fights were blah." They would go on and on and on. And that's fine. It's the internet. I really don't care. I love what I get to do. I love that there are so many people out there that love what I do, that the UFC realizes that, and they're giving me another shot. I did my last shot probably to prove I belong among the best in the world. I am a good fighter. I know I am. I could make an excuse for every loss I've ever had. I try not to, but every fighter tends to do that. Well, this was happening. This is happening. I try not to let that ever sink in. And at the end of the day, these people that are whining about me having a job, they're talking about me. I will never talk about any of them. I will never think of any of them. I will never know any of them. They will likely never do anything of any importance that will raise the ire of anybody in the world. And they found a way to talk about me, want to talk about me. So power to them, talk about me. I live rent free in their head. And then someday when they get to meet me, they'll get to brag how they've always been a fan, and they love my fight against Rashad or my fight against Marquardt, or Darwin Young wasn't supposed to be a draw. That's just the way it is. It's part of the game. I encourage them to whine about me online. Go for it. Talk about me. Let people know who I am.
Great attitude, man. I love it. And yeah, I don't understand it either, man. It is the people on the internet. They will say anything. Yeah, just to me, when they say like, "Oh, this guy lost, so he should be cut," it's like, why should someone be cut? Why would you want someone to be cut? I could see like maybe from a business standpoint, they might get cut by the promotion, but you wanting somebody to get cut is like blows my mind. Like, then I want you to get fired from your job that you
Yeah.
work at and you're
Yeah.
proud to do.
Come out of your basement, get a job, and then I want you to get fired from it.
All right, a couple more. This industry, this fighting, like there's a lot of highs and lows, you know what I mean? There's a lot of moments that can be traumatic for fighters, and PTSD in the sport is around, right? Have you ever experienced it yourself and overcame it, or have you seen it affect other people around you?
I neither. I, I I love the sport too much. I couldn't imagine something happening so dramatically to me that it would change the way I view the sport. I love what I do. I always joke my favorite thing about being a fighter is I never need to wear shoes at any part of my day. I don't need shoes on, and I'm one of the few people in the world that never need to lace up. And that's it. It's all part of my life that that my wife and I have helped create for me. And as far as people with the PTSD, I haven't seen it. I could see it happening. It is a hard sport. It probably wouldn't be from a fight, but it'd be from training. Training's hard. Fighting's easy. Training's hard. So more than anything, it would be that. But the people that would probably be most susceptible to it, it'll be recognized by a coach first. It'll be recognized by family, and it's hard to get to that next level when you have something like that could show itself to you.
Gitter, the new social
Yeah,
platform.
yeah, I'm on there.
You're on there. Okay, so you're
Yeah, I've
on
been
there,
on there
and
I've been on there
what are
almost
your
a year.
thoughts on them having that option for people to just go on there and then just like interact with other people? That's
Well,
not Twitter.
uh, Twitter's a shit show. I hate Twitter. I mean, you get on there and it is just vile, putrid. Oh, I try to stay off Twitter. Get or will be Twitter eventually. It's just not yet. It's just people can go on and randomly insult you. But I've liked it more. They haven't been a lot of the social media companies that if you say the wrong thing or lean the wrong way, that they're real quick to cut you off and make sure nobody can ever hear that opinion. Getter hasn't done that. Maybe they will someday, but they haven't yet. They're still at the opening stage, and I think their big way of talking is yeah, we're not Twitter. We're never gonna silence your voice. So yeah, it's great until it's not. And as soon as Getter starts doing that, I'll switch to what was it, Gab or Chat this or something else will come out. But I think Getter's that could be the next big one, and I've been on there for about a year now. I'm at Smiling Sam if you want to follow me.
Yeah, I will follow you right after this, man. I'm gonna go on there. I'm on Gitter myself. I just got on there a couple days ago,
Okay.
and I'm just getting used to it. One last thing, Kevin Lee, when he signed with Eagle FC, they said that they're gonna pay him his fight purse in crypto. What are your thoughts on crypto, and would you ever agree to be paid your full fight purse in cryptocurrency?
I don't have a good opinion on it. I probably would prefer cash or gold. I would take gold. Give me silver bars. I would take that. But I don't know. I call me old school. I just don't trust it. I don't know what it is. It's like some guy says it's worth something, which essentially is all silver is, I guess. But silver's been around for a lot longer than Bitcoin or. I do have Shiba, so y'all should go and buy Shiba or Doge. I think I have that too. So I'm big on TikTok. I love TikTok. And every time TikTok says Shiba's going to be the next big one, I just go and buy Shiba. Said, oh, I got Doge before it hit a penny. And I bought, it was $100 of it or something because TikTok told me to do it. So yeah, as TikTok tells me to buy currency, I'll do that. But I don't think I'd ever want to get paid in it.
All right, that's good, man. February 5th, you're not gonna get paid in Doge or TikTok or anything like that, right? You're gonna be paid in cold hard cash. Yeah. Sam Alvey, thank you so much for the time, and good luck on the fight, man.
You're very welcome. Thank you for chatting with me, my friend.